Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all the viewers out there who are viewing this particular presentation today, this particular talk show on the topic why should self image not be ignored? So, I welcome all of you, and I have chosen this specific topic so that you can understand what is self image and why it should not be ignored in your day to day life, whether it is personal life, whether it is professional life. We all should take care of our self image, whether we are a teenager or a 20-year-old young professional or somewhere in the mid 40s or even in 60s or 70s. Self image, the word holds a lot of significance in our lives. Since many people are not aware of this topic and they get so busy with their lives, with their professional world, working on their skills and in whatever field they are working, they usually ignore some of the very crucial topics of self development. And as so many of you might be viewing this particular presentation today, I'm sure there must be some of you who must have not heard about this topic, and I want to shed light on this. So, if you can see in the presentation, you can see two pictures here of these girls. They're looking at themselves in the mirror. Now, if you see the left picture, the girl, when she's looking at herself in the mirror, she's finding herself happy. That's the self image that she is having of herself. And when you look in the right picture, the girl, when she looks at herself, the image that gets projected to herself regarding her own self is that of a critical, of a sad person, or somewhere she's not looking happy with herself and she's not contented with herself. So, if I ask you, what is that feeling of contentment in life? I'm sure many of you would want to first experience contentment before happiness, because we cannot be happy all the times. Good and bad situations do come. So it's not right to say that you need to be happy all the time. But if somebody is able to find that fulfillment inside, that contentment, that when they look at themselves, when they view themselves, they're able to feel that yes, I am fulfilled with myself, with whatever I'm doing in my life, I'm fulfilled. There's a sense of fulfillment regardless of the money that the person is earning, regardless of the situations that the person is going through. If there is a sense of fulfillment, the person is having a positive self image. So these are just some examples of self image that I started to present in front of you as we have started this presentation. Let's move ahead to the next slide. If you look at the left picture, it says that when that person is looking at himself, it's a little distorted view. Whoever that person is in reality, the person is not seeing himself as he is in real. There is a distorted perception. You can see the mirror is cracked in between. And am I talking about the actual mirror here? It's not the actual mirror. It's actually what you think about yourself in your mind 24 by 7, right? So you can very clearly know from the left picture that what kind of self image this left person is having. Let's look at the right image. The girl, when she's looking at herself in the mirror, what is the self image that she's projecting for herself to herself? There's nobody else watching her. It's just that she is thinking something about herself. Is she seeing her own image in the mirror? She's not even finding herself. Can you see? There is no reflection of herself in the mirror. These are all four different pictures that you can see regarding self image. That means sometimes you can be fully contented and happy with yourself, or you can be very critical, or you cannot be, or you can be very resentful with yourself. That can also be your self image. Or you can have a distorted view of yourself, or you cannot even know yourself, your true self. You will not even find yourself in the mirror. These are all different scenarios of self image. This is just the beginning. But you will ask me, what is self image? What is inner image? Inner image is the personal view you have yourself, not your parents, not your teachers, not your peers, not your colleagues, not your children. Nobody else's view matters here, but what you view for yourself is your inner image. It is like an internal dictionary. Okay? Now, if you sit comfortably and quietly with yourself and just close your eyes, and I ask you that your internal dictionary is here, okay? Your mind. And there are certain feelings which are stored in your body. Let's suppose if you are a 30 or a 40-year-old professional or a teacher watching this particular presentation, you will have an internal dictionary in your mind. And you, as you have experienced 30 to 40 years of your life, whatever you have experienced, there is a certain feeling attached to it. Whether it was a good or a not so good experience, but there was a certain feeling attached to it, right? So those feelings are stored in your body right now. And all those things that you experienced in your 30 to 40 years of journey, it's here. That's your thought process. So your internal dictionary is your inner image. Whatever happened with you over these years, that's your internal dictionary. Whatever you thought about yourself in these 40 years, that's your internal dictionary. And today, when you sit quietly and just reflect on your internal dictionary, you will find a lot of qualities about yourself. It could be good, it could be not so good qualities, it could be satisfying qualities, it could be not so satisfying qualities. But you will have so much coming in your mind right now that even if you start writing 2, 3 pages, they will just fill all, very quickly. So, what is inner image? It's the view that you have of yourself. It's not the view of your peer on yourself. It's not the view of your parents on yourself. It's not the view of your spouse on yourself. It's not the view of your children on you. It is your view on yourself. आप अपने बारे में क्या सोचते हैं? What do you think about yourself? That is your inner image. Now, I want to share a short story with you about a naive elephant. Many of you must have heard this story. So, it's not actually a story, but it's a conceptual fact that when a baby elephant is there, his feet is tied to a, chain. And that chain is there on a wooden stick. So the baby elephant cannot move. Now, why is the baby elephant's feet tied to that chain? So that it can remain safe and it does not run away. Okay? But as the time passes by and the baby elephant grows, it still remains at the same place thinking that I am stuck to this chain, I cannot move. I am stuck to this chain, I cannot move. But the truth is that the baby elephant is now no more a baby and can actually get out of that chain. It will, if it will try to put some force, the chain will come out from the wooden stick and the baby elephant can start moving. In fact, it's not a baby elephant anymore. So why does the elephant feel that it cannot move? despite having the ability to break the chain, despite having the ability to move quickly, the elephant remains at the same place. That's because the elephant is conditioned since its childhood that now that I'm tied to this chain, that's my reality. You see what conditioning does to you? So, what's the inner image of this elephant? Despite having so much of capability and ability inside, the elephant is thinking, I cannot move out of this chain. That's the inner image of this elephant. Now imagine if the elephant will keep on going through this particular thought process, will the elephant ever be able to explore its true potential? It will not. So, through this story of the elephant, you have to reflect on your circumstances in life and remind yourself that whatever you are thinking, is it because you had got an experience when you were 5 year old or 6 year old, and you're like, now my life is like this. Now in this situation, I will be like this. Think about it. The next story is regarding monkeys and the banana. So it's a very interesting story. So there are five monkeys, okay, and there is a banana on the ceiling. Now one monkey climbs up the ladder and wants to eat the banana. But the moment it tries to catches the banana in the zoo, whichever person is there, the zoo authority, they start pouring a lot of water on all the monkeys. So monkeys get scared and they start shouting, and the monkey which got up the ladder to get the banana has to climb down. Okay? So they get scared. At the moment I'm trying to catch a banana, we are being, you know, attacked by the zoo authority. Now the next day again, the banana is there. So another monkey thinks that okay, today I will go. Let's catch the banana. It's there for us to eat. So the second monkey goes, and what happens? The moment it's trying to get the banana, the zoo authorities put water on all the monkeys, and the monkey which climbed up the ladder comes down, panicking, and all the monkeys they start howling and shouting and growling. And they get the story that whenever we try to catch the banana to eat to satisfy the hunger, we are being attacked. So it is unsafe to climb up the ladder and even look for banana, especially in this particular zoo. It's unsafe. Now, what happens is one monkey out of these five leaves the group and a new monkey comes into place. So now there is one new monkey and four old monkeys. Now, this new monkey gets tempted that there is a banana on the ceiling. So it climbs up the ladder. It wants to have the banana. And then what happens is the moment it goes to get the banana, nobody is there today. Nobody in the zoo is there to put water on these animals. But the other four monkeys, they start beating this monkey which climbs up the ladder. Why? Because they think that it is not allowed to go up the ladder and get the banana. So these four monkeys, they start beating this monkey that why did you climb up? We are not supposed to climb up. It's dangerous. Come down, come down. And then this monkey, when it gets the beating, it does not know that why is it so unsafe to climb to get the banana? What's wrong in getting the banana? And the monkey feels that, oh, the monkey is very disheartened. And then it tries to shut itself. Now what happens? One new monkey comes and the old monkey goes. So now in the group of five monkeys, three old monkeys are there and two new monkeys. So these two new monkeys now don't have awareness about the past experience. So now this newest monkey tries to get the banana. When it climbs up the ladder, these three old monkeys, they first try to attack this monkey and tries to bring it down, saying, why did you climb up the ladder? You're not supposed to climb up the ladder. It's dangerous. Don't go there. And they start beating this monkey. But the surprising fact is that the other monkey who entered before the newest monkey, because he got beaten, The last time, he also starts beating this newest monkey, thinking that it's like a ritual. Whenever new monkey comes, we will need to beat if it tries to catch the banana. So this new monkey does not have any awareness why the monkeys are beaten, because he himself got beaten. So he's also accompanying the other three old monkeys to beat the newest monkey. And like this, the story goes on. Nobody is aware. Now all the new monkeys come in the group and all the old one leaves. But nobody is even trying to catch the banana because they have a conditioning inside them that the moment we climb up the ladder, it's unsafe and somebody will try to catch us and beat us. And because of getting scared of this beating, nobody is even trying to get the banana. But the point here is now the zoo authorities are not there. They're not there to pour water on the monkeys and shoo them away. So, why are these monkeys hesitating to climb up the ladder and get the banana when the banana is readily available to be eaten? That's the question we all need to think. Where in our life are we getting conditioned by the old stories, thinking that we will experience a similar result right now also? We really need to think this. The next story that I have is the granny and the fish. So there was this little girl and she saw her mother preparing fish. And the mother, how she prepared fish in the baking pan is first she removed the head, then the fins and the tail, and then put the fish in the pan and started baking it. So this little girl asked mommy that, mommy, why do you cook the fish like this? Why do you first remove the head and then the tail and then you put the rest of the fish in the pan? She said, so the mother said, I don't know, your grandmother used to do like this. So this little girl went up to her grandmother and asked, Grandmom, why did you prepare the fish like this? First you remove the head, then you remove the tail, and then only you put the fish. Why? So the grandmother said, I don't know. I never thought about it. Just because my grandmom, my mother was doing it, so I copied it. So this little girl is very curious. So she goes to her great grandmom and she asks the same question to her great grandmom. So what does the great grandmom say? That why did she remove the head first and then the tail first and then put the fish? You know what the great grandmom said? The great granny said that my frying pan was very small and that is why I used to bake the fish like this. So, what do we learn from this story? That just because one person is doing a certain thing a certain way, we might not be questioning, we might not be logically thinking, we might not be reasonably applying any logic, but we must be unknowingly copying that same experience and dumping it onto our children. Okay, this is just a very simple example of baking a fish. But there could be very severe, very intense examples in our life where, because somebody in the family did something a certain way, we get so used to conditioning ourselves and putting ourselves in a box, and we feel, okay, that's my potential. My potential is just this, I can do this. Not even knowing that why somebody else was doing and putting themselves in a box. You get my point? We don't have to put ourselves in a box just because somebody else was doing it. So we feel, oh, I'm also allowed to be in a box. I can be in a bigger box, but am I questioning my abilities and my beliefs? Or am I just copying it, putting myself in a small box without even knowing the reason that the person that I'm copying, why did they put themselves in the small box? I don't have the reason why that person put themselves in a small box and I'm copying that. If I know the reason why they were doing a thing a certain way, I will now know that their reason was specific to them and that reason does not apply to me. So I am not entitled to put myself in a small box. Rather, I can expand my box, right? So these were three stories I wanted to share with you. And why I've shared this with you is that's how our self image gets impacted. As we go through the recording of this talk show, I want you to reflect on these stories again and see how do these things impact the image that you have of yourself. So, let's look at some of the compelling reasons why you should pay attention to your inner image. Whether you are a 20-year-old, 30, 40, 50, 60, does not matter. There are compelling reasons for you to put attention to your inner image. Whether you are in the education sector, you are a finance professional, you are a teacher, you are a professor, you are just a student right now, or you're a homemaker, whoever you are, your educational background, your profession does not matter. But the question is, in your day to day life, are you paying attention to your inner image? Or are you ignoring your inner image and just living life on an autopilot mode? Autopilot means things are happening and you're just, mindlessly just doing everything just because you have been doing it a certain way. There are compelling reasons why you should pay attention to your inner image. If you have not been paying attention, you can start it from today. Let's understand why you need to pay attention to your inner image. So, in this, you see two pointers that I've mentioned on this slide. Whatever you think, that generates feelings, and whatever you feel is how you're going to respond. So, the way you're responding to life and the way you are responding to the stressors means when the stress comes in life, how do you respond to the stressful situation? So, your response is dependent on your feelings, and your feelings are dependent on your thoughts. I want to ask you, how many of you pay attention to your thoughts in a day? When you are at work, when you're cooking food, when you're eating food, when you're watching TV, when you're going out for a grocery shopping, when you're taking your kids out to mall or to a garden, what are your thoughts? आप क्या सोचते हैं? Are you paying attention to it? Or if a thought comes, you just let it come and you are like sometimes the prisoner of your thought, or sometimes you take control of your thought. So, this is called when we just allow what's happening to us, that's called living life on an autopilot mode. But you can always choose to come out of that autopilot mode and start living more consciously. And when you start to choose your thoughts, your inner image will become positive. It will not happen in a day, it will not happen in a week, it will not happen in a month. It can take a few months, and for some people, it can take years to train themselves to start to think conscious and beautiful and positive thoughts. But the moment you're able to get hold of your thoughts, you know that, okay, today I will think like this. Your inner image is going to change over a period of time. It will take time, but it's worth the time. Because whatever you think, you will attract the same results in your life. Now, whatever response you have towards the stressful situation or towards life, it will impact the quality of your relationships. Okay? And whatever response you have, it will impact your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and social well being. आपका जो भी रिस्पॉन्स होगा आपकी लाइफ में वो डिपेंड करेगा योर थॉट्स ऑन योर थॉट्स सो योर रिस्पॉन्स विल डिटरमाइन आपकी फिजिकल हेल्थ कैसी है, आपकी मेंटल एंड इमोशनल हेल्थ कैसी है, आपकी स्पिरिचुअल एंड सोशल वेलबींग कैसी है. It all starts with your thoughts. So if you're struggling somewhere, even in your physical health, we usually run towards allopathic medicines and different medicines. Just, it's just the medicine. But if you truly ask yourself, there's such a deep mind body connection. Have you really asked yourself that for all these 5 years, 10 years, what are the thoughts that you have nurtured in your dictionary? What is the inner image of yours? If somebody is going through a lot of physical challenges, that means their inner image has not been positive. It has been severely distorted. And sometimes, even if you speak to them, they will not agree because they have been living a life in a lot of pain. So it's not their fault. But the point is, nobody told them that they could change their inner image, that it is important to pay attention to inner image along with building a professional career, along with earning money. Your inner image will determine how fast you grow in your career and what kind of money growth you will have in your life. Your inner image will define that. Okay. So, if you remain conditioned by previous experiences, by your parents, by your friends, by your relatives, you will lose your authentic self. So, when children grow up by the age of 12 or 13, they are all influenced by their parents, by their experiences. So, slowly, steadily, they start losing their authentic self and they don't even realize that they have lost their authentic self. But today, if you are watching this presentation, there could be a lot of instances where you have actually lost your authentic self just because of the conditioning by the people around you. Look where the conditioning is and try to get rid of the conditioning and just know your true authentic self. Now, you will ask me that, Tanya, why is it important for me to stay in my authentic self? And what will happen if I lose my authentic self? I've listed some pointers here. If you lose your authentic self, these 5 things can happen. Now, these are just some examples I've taken. I'm not saying only these 5 will happen. There can be 50 pointers for this. But the point is, if you keep getting conditioned by the people around you and do not question and do not try to change your inner image, these 5 possibilities are there. These 5 things are possible. First, you can start a lot of people pleasing in your life. And then you will say that this person in my office, they take advantage of me, and I'm not able to speak up for myself, and then I have to do a lot of people pleasing. So why the people pleasing nature is coming? Because somebody has lost their authentic self. Okay. Now, second point is, if somebody loses their authentic self, see, we all are born as, like, very pure souls, pure individuals. But over time, somebody turns out to be very positive, somebody will turn out to be very aggressive. So if you see somebody turning very aggressive and every time they're inviting conflicts in their life, that means their inner image is little damaged. Okay. Third point, if you're not able to speak up for yourself, please know that your inner image is damaged to a certain extent. Fourth point, you may abandon and reject yourself and feel resentful towards yourself. Now, if you have not had good experiences in life, or if you have to struggle a lot to attract success in your life, you will, you know, so suppose if you're fearful of certain situations in life, you will start to abandon and reject fear. And when you abandon and reject fear, you will actually not be in your authentic self. Okay. And fifth, you develop limiting beliefs and you settle for less in life. You remember the story of that elephant? Elephant could move and break the chain and come out of the clutches of the chain, but just because it developed a belief that for so many years I'm standing with this chain, I cannot move. So that's a limiting belief that the elephant had. So we as humans also develop limiting beliefs, and we need to ask, where am I having a belief which is putting me in a box? So anytime you fear, I cannot do this, I should do this. I cannot and I should. These are your limiting beliefs. No, 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 I can't do this. No, 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 I should do this. I should do this. So there's nothing as should, there's nothing as cannot. If you find yourself in a lot of situations where you keep on saying this to yourself, that means you have a lot of limiting beliefs in life. Your inner image needs a little bit of twisting in the positive direction. Okay, so here are a group of certain qualities. You can take out your worksheet or your notebook, and you can, whenever you're going through this recording, just go through all these qualities that I've listed here. And there's a beautiful exercise. See what qualities you are resonating with and find out situations where you can fit into these qualities. You will find it difficult in some places, and you will say, Tanya, out of these 21, I think only I'm able to think of 5 situations where I'm fitting into the qualities. But I'm challenging you. You can fill all the 21. Just give yourself time. And then you will realize, oh, I'm a dependable person also. I'm energetic also. I'm persistent also. I'm responsible also. I'm spontaneous. And then you see that all the qualities are getting filled. But the moment, but this will only happen when you choose to do this particular activity. If you confine yourself that, no, I'm not dependable, I don't think so, I am taking a lot of responsibility in my life. Energetic, no, 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 I'm a lazy person. And then non-judgmental, I think I judge people sometimes, so I'm not non-judgmental. So I'm asking you not to judge yourself when you look at these qualities, but just ask yourself that, yes, I do have these qualities. Scratch inside yourself and find out situations and fill this worksheet for yourself. Fill all the 21. Everybody will be able to fill the 21 situations. Just give yourself time. And then the result is you will see how beautiful your life is, how beautiful you are as a person. You have the qualities. It's just that you don't take out time to reflect on them. Okay? This will help you to strengthen your inner image, your self image. Now, I'm taking you through one last quiz, and the quiz name is How Positive is Your Self Image? And then we'll move on to the Q&A round. So, first question, what you have to do, I'm taking you through certain questions. You have to say either true or false for these questions. And at the end of this quiz, we will determine how positive is your self-image. Okay? And for every question, if there is a true that you put in front of it, give yourself 1 point. If it's false, give yourself 0 points. So are we ready? Let's start. First, my glass is always half empty and it's not half full. Find out whether it is true or false for yourself. Second, I'm always apologizing for things. Third, I'm always telling myself that I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Find out whether it is true or false for yourself. Fourth, I constantly criticize myself. Fifth, what others think of me dictates how I feel about myself. Sixth, I am critical of my mistakes and I relive them over and over and over and over again. 7, I always let people who care about me down. So if you feel your family really looks up to you, they care about you, but you are not able to succeed well in life, and you think that you're putting them down, and you're always putting them down. You know, you are not able to make them happy just because you feel that you're not able to succeed the way you want to succeed in life. Then you have to find out for yourself whether it is true or false. Eighth question, I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. Ninth, I find a partial failure as bad as a complete failure. 10th, I overstretch myself to please others. 11th, unless somebody validates my efforts, I'm not sure if I've done a good job or not. If you feel that you always have to ask other people to tell you that, yes, you did a good job, or no, 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 you could have improved. If you're always looking for validation from people, let's suppose you decorated your house and your house is looking like so pretty and nobody compliments, but inside you really want that somebody should compliment, and then when nobody compliments, you feel so resentful that nobody even complimented. I put so much effort, I was just cleaning my house from the entire day. So and you feel bad about it, right? So that could be a sign that your inner image needs some work from yourself. 12th, it's hard for me to forgive and forget. 13, I have to work harder than others for relationships, and I feel afraid that the relationships I already have will fail. So, anytime you have a relationship with different people, with your family members, you always feel, or with your friends, you always feel that you are the one putting in a lot of efforts. And even when you don't speak to that person for days, you feel that, oh no, if I'm not putting efforts, the relationship will fall. That means you somehow do not trust people for their ability, and you feel entitled to always give a lot of things in the relationship, and you're not able to take the love that is offered to you. Okay, 14th, if I find myself doing better than others, it means I'm not as good as them. Okay, so if suppose you're doing a work and you feel that person is so good, that person is in this field for the last 5 years, I just started out. So you start thinking that you are not as good as them. That means you define your worth based on the kind of results you produce in your life. Okay, and the last, if I can't do something well, it means I should not even begin doing it because there's no point. Because if I can't do something well, then why will I try? Let's move on to something. I think I'll not even try this. Okay, it could be applying for a new job. It could be even speaking to some of the builders in your locality if you want to buy a house, and then you feel, no, 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 I will not get this. I don't even have money. It will take so much time for me to arrange money. Let me just cut short my desires and my aspirations, and let me not think of buying it right now. Right? So it could be very simple examples in your life. Now, if you have done this particular quiz, for every question, if there is a true that you have put, you have to give yourself 1 point. And if it's false, it's zero. Okay. Now count your total score, count all the ones, and then see what your total score is. If your score is between 0 to 4, that means generally you think positively and you feel good about yourself. So, congratulations, and you can keep this work up. Okay. Now, if your score is between 5 to 8, that means you may be struggling with some negative emotions. And you need to take out time to review your good qualities. If you will not take out time and you will not review the qualities, that what's good in your life, what is something that is disturbing you, what are the negative emotions that keep disturbing you, you will always feel stuck and your inner image will not change. So you need to take out time to improve the quality of your life. And the last, if your score is 9 plus 9 or above, that means you really need to take charge of your life. You are very critical of yourself. You might not show it to other people might not be aware, but now you have got the score. So you are aware that you are critical of yourself. You need to change your thinking. You need to work on your brain rewiring. You need to change your thought process, right? So this was all about this particular uh, uh, presentation on self image. And I end this presentation here. And anyone who has any questions, wants to ask something, then I'm happy to answer.
Sure, Miss Tanya, lovely presentation and very wonderful exercises. I'm sure whoever watches the recording will practice this test and score themselves. And I'm sure the mixed results will be there. And I'm sure they will try to upgrade themselves with positive thinking and a better self-image. So because of the time constraint, ma'am, I cannot ask you more questions. I'll just wind up the session with only a couple of. So usually you have covered everything. I was listening to you keenly. One question: what are some common misconceptions about self-image that you believe need to be addressed?
Hmm. Common misconceptions could be that I am born this way and my life has been like this. So that means we think of past as a reality. Okay, and then we think that okay, it cannot change. Self-image cannot change. It's written in stone. But the reality is, self image can always change. If for the last 10 years you have been thinking of yourself that, I'm a fat person, I cannot wear certain kinds of dresses, or I'm not very good with mathematics or numbers, so I cannot take up this subject and cannot perform well here, or, I'm a mediocre person, I can only earn this much salary per annum, and, I'm not meant for great things, so I can never reach a salary where I'm earning so much amount. So if these are the limitations you put in yourself and you keep on thinking that this is true, it can never change, it will really never change. So please understand that self image is not written in stone. You can change the moment you know that your mind is just trapping you, it is putting you in trap, and you have the power to change it through a lot of inner healing, through a lot of brain rewiring techniques. And there is neuroplasticity, there's a concept of neuroplasticity. You can always change the way you think by changing the neural pathways inside your brain.
Right. So can you, as a coach, can you provide examples of how a positive self-image has positively impacted individuals or communities?
Sure. Okay. So as I told you, when a person is trying to change their self image, it does not happen overnight, because see, everybody is coming from a different set of circumstances. Their family background is different. Maybe the way their parents communicated with them, it made them more negative person or a more critical person, and their self image got hampered. So when they work with me, it takes time, maybe 6 months or more. And then when the results come, it could be like, I'll share one example. If somebody works on their self image and they were not able to change the jobs, they were stuck in a certain organization, and they were liking the work of that organization, but the salary increment was not happening, right? So now this person has been thinking in mind that I took a sabbatical, I have been on leave for my health challenges, and now, I'm really far behind other people as in terms of my career growth, and I'm not very happy with my salary. So when they are even applying to different job portals, they are applying their resumes, they're still having some negative self image about themselves. So maybe the things that they can present is in resume, it is going missing. They are not being able to change the resume the way they can, because their self image is damaged right now. So when they work on themselves, not only their resume will get transformed, but now they will attract so much more that was meant for them. So a lot of people I know, they manifested job after a really long time when they worked on themselves. And it was nothing to do with their technical skills. It was only to do with what they were thinking about themselves. When they were putting themselves in a limitation that getting that kind of job is very difficult, only very few people get it. Why am I thinking about it? No, 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 nobody will give me this much hike. Companies these days, they are already laying off so many people. But when I know these examples, they have been able to do it, and they share the results with me. So this was a very beautiful example that I've shared here, because I felt so happy when somebody was able to attract the desired job opportunity in their life, just because they took up time of their life to work on themselves for 3 months, for 6 months, or even more.
Thank you for the elaboration, ma'am. So can you discuss the connection between self-image and resilience in the face of challenges or setbacks?
Hmm. Right. Okay. So, when people come to me to work on themselves, I always tell them that when you walk out of the program and you will give yourself that ample amount of time, those ample amount of months to work on yourself, your resilience is going to improve. So the resilience, why it improves? Just because, see, what happens, Miss Pravina, is that challenges will remain the same. Okay, you cannot control the external challenges. So if somebody is living in a very toxic environment, either at their home or at the professional front, they are facing a lot of toxicity. Now if somebody's inner image is very low, it's very negative right now, they will get impacted by that negativity a lot. Okay, and it is going to hamper their peace of mind, it is going to hamper the way um, they want to progress in life, because they cannot put their energy to good things in life. They will just be bogged down by all the weight and heaviness of the negativity that they are facing around, right? But once they work on themselves, the resilience power increases. And when the resilience power increases, a person's productivity and efficiency increases, despite that the situation will remain the same. So the toxic environment may remain the same because you cannot change the other person. If other person is very toxic, or the environment is toxic where everybody is fighting and shouting and being aggressive, and you feel like, I'm stuck in a very negative environment and this is not the place that I'm liking. But other people are not wanting to change and you cannot force them. So if you have developed the resilience, you will have the power to face them, and that negativity will not get impacted on you so much. You can be impacted. I'm not saying that you will not be impacted, but if it was impacting you 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, now if your resilience has improved, it will impact you maybe 7 out of 10, or 5 out of 10, or just 2 out of 10. So it depends on everyone's different um, experiences, and how much they choose to invest in their own brain.
Right. So any specific age groups, ma'am, Ms. Tanya, or demographics that may be more vulnerable to struggles with self-image?
Yes, it's the childhood phase. So, till the age of 5 or 6 or 7 years, our subconscious mind can catch everything. Whatever you tell the child, whatever the child experiences from people, it just takes that as the reality.
The baby
And
and
even
the example you have given, yes.
yes, yes. And most of it comes from the mother also. So many times, if the mother is conceiving a child and the mother is going through a really tough time, or if the mother has faced a lot of self image issues in their life while growing up, but they never had the awareness and they were just living life as it came. So, all of that emotions will get transferred on to the baby without the awareness of the baby. And when the baby will be born in the world, the baby will say, I don't know why, but I keep facing all of this. I'm not able to speak up well in the class, or people bully me, but I'm not able to. I don't know why. I'm such a good person. And then somebody raises the voice on them, and the baby can get like very disturbed. Not the baby, but a 5 or a 6 or even a 10 or a 15-year-old child. So we have to see that all of this comes at a very vulnerable age of when the child is really growing up, or when they are in the mother's womb. So that is the time even mothers must take care of their emotional and mental well-being. And it's very important not to say a lot of negative things to the children. Even if the children are very aggressive, children are not listening, there's a different way you can deal with children. And parents must learn to change the way they react and deal with children, because everything will have impact on the children. And now whatever beliefs the children will form, it's even very difficult to change at the age of 40 or 50 years. It will take a lot of time, so it's better we do the work in the childhood.
Right. Thank you, Ms. Tanya Bhatia. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions in detail. We also, thank you once again. And whoever has attended or tried to attend the session, we apologize for the technical glitches we faced. And I'm sure like you can watch the recording. And we will end the session now, ma'am. Before ending, do you want to mention anything else?
That's it. I want to say thank you to you and your entire team for inviting me for this speaker session. And I'm sure that people will get benefited, and they must go through the recording again and again to see where in their life are they able to relate to the stories that I shared. And I hope that more and more awareness gets developed, because the point is everything that we are doing in our life, every result that we are getting is a result of our brain. Whatever we are thinking, whatever good things we have attracted in our life, it's because of our thoughts. We have thought that, okay, I am deserving of it, I will do it, and I'm feeling very energetic. It's all because our brain has supported us. So let's not take it for granted. We can always change our life, and let's not um, feel insecure when we need any kind of help. Even when we are 30s or 40s, we need help from our mentors or coaches or anyone in life, because it's always good. Because you will be even surprised to see that, oh, this is even possible. So there's so much of deeper brain work that you can do with the people who are there in this field, and you will see that your life is just going to become beautiful. But unless you put a thought over it and you feel that it's a waste of time, it will appear as a waste of time. But I'm sure people who are into a lot of self-help books and they realize the importance of investing in their brain, they will really find the session interesting, and they will be able to relate to this in their lives also. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.